for the first time ever, Jack is doing most of the talking.
Jack's in charge, baby.
We're in charge. It's the
good,
calm, sleepy episode.
It's the me, me, me.
Unless you're driving, then look out! Look out!
Open your eyes.
Turn left.
Open your eyes. You can't drive with your fucking eyes closed, you goose.
But if you're not driving, then this is the chill episode.
Yeah,
Welcome
so I
back.
go to the next one already.
Welcome back. We made it back. It's a little bit more chill because it's just a little bit more quiet.
Yeah.
We're trying to be a bit more quiet.
Quiet day. A quiet day.
Welcome back. What episode is this? 5?
Yep.
I think so, yeah. That's how well we're doing, is that we've forgotten what episode we're up to.
Yeah, we're just doing it.
Because up until episode 3, we knew which episode we were up to. So wait until we hit the double digits, then we're never going to know.
Jeez.
Um,
Episode 69. Is that the episode where we make an OnlyFans on episode 69?
that episode, we get cameras and just... no, we don't even get cameras. We just hot mic it and we bang on the table. If you want.
All right, guys. So the end of this week's episode.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
This
Yeah.
one fits into a YouTube short. Yeah, welcome back. Episode 5. We made it back. This one's going to be very different, judging by the title. It's probably not going to say something along the lines of like historical piece. Yeah. Most likely just going to be us mentioning like, this is an episode about us. And Django's already cranky because there was a car that just went up the driveway. So we're off to a good start. So this one, we are basically just going to be answering a lot of questions that people have sent to us as well as found on the internet. And we just wanted to, I don't know, just talk about ourselves a little bit this time around because we haven't really done that much.
Jack really just wanted to talk about himself.
Dude, I'm getting sick of it, man.
Yeah, he's so angry.
That is the
he has
whole
to
reason I
listen
wanted to.
me.
It's the whole reason I wanted to become a content creator.
Oh, he hates it.
So I wanted everyone to talk about me. That's actually a funny thing. I was thinking about it. I don't think I want to be famous, which is a crazy thing for me to say as somebody who wants to be a content creator, that I don't want to be famous, because I realize that with how much I don't like social interaction, how would I be able to deal with being on the street and somebody walking up and being like, "Hey, I watch you on YouTube"? I would want to kill myself.
You'd be like, I don't know you.
Yeah. Like I think about that frequently. I think about it frequently of like if somebody walked up to me on the street and said, "Hey, are you Ayo Jack?" Which is also something that makes me want to change my fucking name on YouTube.
I like your name. I like AOJ.
I think it fits pretty well because it also is just my name.
Yeah.
And so that's what kind of makes it fit. Like, but I was thinking in the future of, because most commentary creators just have their full name as their like YouTube name. So that's something I've been thinking about. Do we just get straight into questions? Do you have anything that you want to mention? Or do we just...
Yeah, so as you guys know, we're trying our best to get up there on the genre list.
Forgot about this.
So yeah, you've got to. Right,
my bad.
Jack forgot his due course as always. On Spotify, make sure you rate us 5 stars if you can. If you are listening on Spotify, helps us get up on that leaderboard. Helps people listen to us that may not normally know who we are. And more people means, Jack,
more
podcasts,
job.
more
podcasts.
podcasts.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. So,
and then we quit our job.
we quit our job, and then you have to listen to us for a living. If you're on YouTube, shoot us a like and comment some questions, some topics. If you loved it, if you hated it, dislike it, any interaction is good interaction. So let us know.
Oh, no, don't say that.
No, it is. Otherwise, Jack, this is a very Jack Trek episode. Just to outline, we aren't going to be, we might get on the topic for whatever reason, but we're not going to be primarily talking this episode about any sort of history or any lesson. It's more of a just talk about us for a bit. So if you wanted to know a little more about us and a little deeper about kind of what we do, how we live, and kind of like the influences in our lives, this is the episode for you if you wanted that little bit more of a deep dive.
Yeah, because we are 5 episodes in and we haven't really talked about ourselves at all.
You don't really know anything about us, so we thought we'd share a bit of information so you can know a little bit more deeply on who you're listening to chat on for an hour or so most weeks. Otherwise, this is going to be a bit more of a Jack-centric episode, which I'm excited for. So it means I get to sit here and listen to him talk.
This means I have to be the host.
Yeah,
Fuck.
so strap in for that one, guys. Jack has a series of questions that he's going to go through. And we're going to just kind of answer them as we go, maybe go on a little bit of a tangent. Jack loves a good tangent, so we're going to hopefully experience that one.
I only love a good tangent if it's the right environment to have a tangent about. If it's the right question to have a tangent about. First question we got here. I'll make sure to put this one at the front of all of the questions. Do you plan on putting your whole podussy in this podcast?
In my podussy?
Yeah. That was so boomer of me. What is it? What is a podussy? Podussy.
A podussy. I'm going to put my whole podussy into this. You can fill my podussy any day, my friend.
We're going to fill your ears.
So much podussy is going to be felt on this podcast.
I guess on like even a less podussy note is that we have already put a lot of effort into the podcast, more than any other podcast we've done. Because we made
any
it
other
to
podcast, full stop. We're actually higher quality than all of them.
Yeah. Higher quality, better topics, better things to talk about, much better podussy, and we made it to 5 episodes.
Dude. So much podussy.
We made it to 5 episodes, which is insane. Didn't believe that was going to happen, but yes, we do plan on putting a lot of effort into the podcast.
This is more than we've ever done, right?
This is, yeah.
This is it.
This is more. Actually, next episode will mark more episodes than all of our other podcasts combined.
Wow.
Because we've had 2 previous podcasts. One of them had 2 episodes and the other one had 3 episodes.
Wow, look at us go, eh?
So we have tied it up in the one podcast. And it's just we have sort of been able to figure out some systems and shit like that going. So we actually can schedule for each other to hang out, because when we did our first not our first podcast, but our last one from last year, we were both working full time and we never had time to like catch up or anything. And when we did, it would be John coming to my place for like 2 hours after work, which is already like 8 p.m. or something like that. We would record 1 episode and then John would go home and we would go to sleep.
I was a tired boy.
Yeah.
I lived quite far away at the time too.
Yeah, that was
like 40 minutes away or something. So
it was quite a mess. So
Yeah,
I understand why that stopped happening. So.
yeah.
But at the moment, if the podcast isn't uploaded on time or we miss a week or something like that, then you can yell at us, because we're going to mention that this is the best position we've been in to be doing a podcast.
I think, yeah, if we don't continue to do the podcast, we've really fumbled it somewhere, and it's our fault, not anyone else's. So
Fumble the bag.
Yep, that's us.
Next,
yes, to answer the question, I'm putting my full podussy into this. Yes.
The next question we had, there's going to be a lot of like content creation related questions in here.
Jack just wants to plug his own YouTube channel.
Oh, absolutely. But we both, I think the reason that we started talking again after we both left school was because I saw that you were streaming, and I was like, oh fuck, that's cool. I want to see what that's all about. So I messaged John and I was like, hey, you're still streaming. How's all that shit going? And how do I do it? So pretty much the reason
go away, Jack. I'm famous and you're not.
John dono-walled me. I had to donate $5 every single message. So it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But
sorry. Subscribers only, chat.
I didn't even know what a subscriber was. And
that's all a joke, by the way. I'm not. I didn't actually do any of that.
No, next question we have is when did you start making YouTube videos / streaming? So I guess you can answer first because I jumped on
My
the
first YouTube
train
channel
late.
was Roblox DayZ channel.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally forgot about all of that.
I was
before
really
that.
hoping you would remember that. But
Yeah, no, I remember.
Roblox DayZ videos, bro. Classic. And
Was
then
it videos or was it video?
It was two.
Right.
No sound.
We had a really good thing of just putting out 2 episodes of something and then never again.
Yeah, well, like Valve, but
Yeah,
less
pretty
famous.
much. Less famous and probably more funny, arguably.
I think so, yeah.
More handsome. Maybe.
Oh, no, Gaben's a good looking guy.
Mm.
I'd kiss that man on the lips any day. You can put that on record.
Alright, sure.
That will go into the deep lore of of this Padussi. I made Roblox DayZ videos.
When was that? Can we get like a timeline going?
Probably 2010.
Right. 2010 for me, maybe 2011. I think I was also making YouTube videos. I was making vlogs, which are very popular for somebody who goes to primary school and then occasionally hangs out with friends from school. So I was making vlogs, and that was it because I didn't have a computer. My capture card that I had was it was like an off-brand capture card that recorded like 480p or something like that.
Ooh.
I got some banger clips from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and stuff like that.
Oh, go the camera.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, so it was 2011.
Holy
John put out
shit, I just hit a clip.
I just pointed at the waveforms of John peeking the fuck out of the mic when he did that. So 2000, what you said, 2010? John put out Roblox DayZ Part 1 and 2, and then 2011 Jack was putting out his vlogs, and it was also, so I had a friend who had a capture card, and he was putting out I think he wanted to be an Optic or FaZe Clan, one of the other. I think it might have been Optic. I think Optic was actually more popular than FaZe at the time in 2011. I think he wanted to be an Optic, and so he was getting a bunch of sniper clips. Mind you, this is an 11-year-old. He was getting a lot of clips from like COD 4, like the Modern Warfare 2 and 3 and stuff like that. And he was taking his clips and uploading them to YouTube with a little like stock intro, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I want to do that.
Yeah.
But so I was like, I want to do that too. So I was I was nowhere near as good as anybody at fucking the COD games.
I bet you were mad at COD.
I was awful. Like I was actually shit.
Optic, dude.
Optic Jack. That's what my name was. But yeah, so I wanted to try that. So I got like my parents to get me like a capture card for my birthday or Christmas or something like that. The 480p capture card.
Hey man, in 2010 that was probably like,
it wasn't too bad actually, because 720p was like the peak. Yeah, so it was pretty close. Like
that's the 720p or even 1080p. It was like 2K and 4K.
Yeah,
like so
much,
normal now.
It was I realized how old I was because I saw a video like number of years ago, and somebody was clowning on someone else because they bought them a 1080p monitor, and I was like, wait, that's not good anymore. Like I was like, dude, fucking 11-year-old Jack would be freaking the fuck out.
2K monitor is where it's at, man. Come on. When you were a baby,
apparently,
little baby piss boy, little pussy baby bitch boy,
little pussy baby piss boy,
little piss boy.
Well, yeah. So that happened. I was uploading those videos. I think 2012. I had like a laptop that was really shitty, and I was trying to record like Minecraft videos, as everybody did.
Obviously.
Trying to record Minecraft videos on Fraps.
No, Bandicam. I was a Bandicam gamer.
Dude, I didn't even know that Bandicam existed.
I was a big Bandicam gamer.
But yeah,
I was there before PewDiePie.
Damn, that's crazy.
Fellow Bandicam user, my guy.
So I'd done that. Did the Minecraft videos. Did like 2 episodes of that, and I think after that, it fell off for a couple of years until like 2015.
What, Minecraft?
my just
Oh,
channel
I
in
see,
general.
yeah.
I like stopped uploading. I had like 200 subscribers. Someone was complaining in my comments because I was doing sub for sub. But I guess like if there was anything that you did between 2013 and 2015, otherwise I'll continue rambling about
Oh,
my about my channel. Because
2013 and
2013 was
2015.
when we met in year 7 at
Mhm,
school.
sure.
So
2015, we did the
the first podcast.
first podcast. Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I was going to say. That was 2015.
Yeah. So
It
2013.
was in media.
Yeah, 2013. I'd made a friend who was also making Minecraft videos, and he was with
Ooh, friend.
with a. It was like a group that he had where it was like him and like a couple of his friends, and they all uploaded on the
Turned
same
out to be
channel.
Sky does Minecraft.
Yeah, and I really fumbled the bag. I could have
Yeah.
been as famous
It could have
as
been, yeah,
as Sky does
famous.
Minecraft. And so then I was like, well, fuck, I'll keep making some Minecraft videos, and then just like nothing happened. But then yeah, it fell off until 2015 when you walked into my cooking class and said, hey, we need to borrow Jack for a media project.
Mm.
And as I walked out, John was like, hey, we're actually just recording a podcast. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, with what? What did you have? You had like some weird little gizmo that like you were recording it with. It was like, it looked like an MP3 player or some shit.
Yeah, it was a
But-
full surround cardioid microphone made for like media interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like,
So
It's
we
just a
put it in
little
the middle
box.
of the table, set it to a full circle cardioid thing, and talked into it for, 20 minutes. That was absurdly
Yeah,
loud.
that
I'm
was-
so sorry.
John's phone just vibrated.
So
it sounded like a
sorry.
fucking Amber Alert. But yeah, so John snagged me out of a cooking class, and we started recording the teaser trailer episode. Actually, no, I wasn't even part of that. I think you scrapped it, but because you had done it with our other friend, who maybe I'll keep them nameless because I haven't
Probably should, yeah.
I haven't asked anybody if we can get their permission to talk about them or whatever. So you had done the trailer with one of our other friends, and then
for a podcast.
yeah, it was like
What a
it was
life I
like
lived.
it was an 8-minute episode of a podcast.
It was like
which
a
is
little,
crazy.
It was like a little teaser.
Yeah.
Little-
So
little flavor.
we did that, and then I recorded it with you at some point, but like that one didn't actually end up going up, and then we ended up recording them like remote from all over our own houses. We just set up like there was like 4 of us, and we set up just like a Skype call or something. And
Was it Skype? It was Skype at the time.
yeah,
wasn't
because
it?
I didn't have
Oof.
anything else. People were telling me about TeamSpeak, and I was like, what is that?
It still exists, and it looks awful still.
Damn, that's tough.
Discord is it's just easy.
Yeah. When did Discord come out?
I started using Discord in probably like 2017,
Hmm.
2018 maybe. I remember I was like year 12,
Mm.
year 11 when I started using it.
Yeah,
I certainly wasn't using it in 2015. That's
yeah,
for
well, I was
sure.
going to say, I was just off anything like YouTube from 2016 until like 2020.
Yeah, really.
So that was like the period of like, I wasn't doing anything. It was literally just like school, focusing on nothing. People being like, what do you want to do when you leave school? And me being like, I don't fucking know.
2019 was when I started doing streaming properly. When I was like fully committing. That was when I got like semi known-ish in the Mappies Twitch community. People knew sort of who I was, but well fell off by now. Far fell off.
Yeah.
But that was 2019, on and off. Then there was COVID, when it was like on and off again. And now I stream, or try to stream every weekday. And I'm doing this, but there was like a few attempts. There's always been attempts to do YouTube stuff. Who hasn't, right? I mean,
Yeah.
with Zoomers, man, gotta make the
Zoom.
gotta make an iPad YouTube video at some point, right?
That actually did remind me of something where it was like 75% of kids want to be YouTubers.
Really?
Yeah. And that made me think, I was like, will fucking teaching just become like obsolete, considering how you can just look up a YouTube tutorial about anything?
I don't think so. No.
I guess like by standards, it'll probably still like be a thing. Just because school will still exist probably forever.
Yeah, I think to what capacity and what we teach will change.
Yeah.
I do think in a world that's become far more interconnected and far less reliant on things like manual labor is still really important, but things like, truck drivers being replaced by robots eventually and all that kind of rubbish. Like eventually there'll be jobs that just phase out, and so you won't have to teach things that are relative to those roles anymore. But I think teaching will always have to exist because you still need people to mold kids in a way that the people, like the society around them, requires them to be molded to.
Yeah, right.
Whether we can rely on the parents and the random YouTubers of the Zoomer generation to do that is a different topic, I think.
Well, because that was something that I always thought about, where it was like every single class that I was in, like they were always teaching me the things that I didn't want to learn. And it's not even that like I didn't enjoy the subject or anything like that. It was like I was doing in like year 11 and 12 and stuff like that. I was doing every single subject that I wanted to do. It was like psychology because I wanted to learn about the brain. It was like photography, history, PE, stuff like that. And I was like, it was all the classes that I wanted to be in, but they were always teaching me the things that I didn't care about. So it was like I would end up going home and just like looking it up on my computer, just looking up general things about this stuff. So that was, because I guess it's just like they can't, maybe from what I know is like, if you were to go to uni, the person that is teaching you this subject is only teaching you this subject. They're not also like your English teacher or something like that. So I guess it's like, maybe that has something to do with it.
Uni is a far more like focused kind of study and teaching system than like the education system in high school, for instance. It's very difficult for teachers to cater specific subjects to specific students in a school of, let's say, a larger school of like 5,000 kids or some shit. Like the idea to be able to cater to every single individual requirement, whereas in uni you choose what you want to go there to do, right? And then especially at least at like most unis, you then get to choose your like course structure out of like maybe structures they either provide you or ones you want to do. And it becomes a lot more like focused on yourself. So I think university study is very different, but to then give that option to a child is a really bad idea. Because I remember if it was me at 13, I would not have wanted to learn the things I was learning in high school.
Yeah.
But then if you were giving me the chance, it would have been just like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. I want to learn about dinosaurs for a year.
That does lead to another question, but really quickly, I wanted to finish up where we were because we were talking about, it was like 2020. And then that was when I messaged you and I was like, hey, I see that you're streaming. Like, what is that about? And then John got me into streaming and I was doing that for a little while. I was streaming on my laptop.
A laptop gamer?
Surprisingly, making beats out of all things.
I love that.
I was making beats because in 2019, my brother was doing the same thing. And I was like, hey, I want to do that too. And he was like, well, just download a software or something like that and just learn. I was like, okay. So like for a year I was doing that. I started doing it like for my streams because like Twitch had the affiliate thing where it was like you needed this many followers, this many hours, and this many average viewers. And I was like, well, I know that to get people to watch, you have to either have them all having your tab open or you have to just get them involved in some way. And I was like, well, how can I get them involved if I'm like making a beat? Because it was never making a song, it was just making a beat. And I was like, well, what if I just did a thing where people just tell me shit to add to it and then I do? So it was like adding fucking Minecraft eating noises and turning them into like hi-hats or something like that. Which is like, I think at that point was when I realized I was like, I'm entirely fucking right-brained. There's no like logic going on in this head. It's all creativity. So I think that was when I was like, I think I just want to do creative shit. And then I had a friend message me just like out of the blue and was like, hey, you remind me of this person, and sent me a link to a YouTuber that he's quite popular now, but at the time wasn't very popular. His name was Ryan Trahan. So he was doing commentary videos and I was watching them. And this is kind of where I know that like all of my YouTube shit started, because I was watching him and I was like, he I know that he watches people like Cody Ko and Danny Gonzalez and stuff like that. And I was like, those people seem way out of my league in like comedy skills and stuff like that. Because I was like, these people know comedy. I don't really know comedy. I just kind of like talk shit and stuff like that. But Ryan Trahan almost felt like he was that like step that I get to before I get to there. So I was like, because I was like, well, he's not as funny as all these other guys.
Yeah.
He's still funny, but it's like he wasn't like making jokes like crazy like they were. So I was like, what if I try this? I put out one video where it was like about Jason Coffey, and then that was like the best video I've ever put out. Because I got like 150 views, and I was like, well, fuck, guess this is my life now. So, and that was pretty much that. That was like 2020.
You were so hyped. You're like, yo.
I was, yeah. Because I mean, I went from like, I had just left school, and I was like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. And then COVID hit, and then I was like, I'll stream. And then I was like, well, I like doing fun, creative shit that has to do with like media and YouTube and stuff like that. Like I was enjoying that. So it basically was the commentary videos, and then like 3 videos later, I switched to gaming videos, which was a death sentence for my channel. And then I slowly pulled it out of the depths of hell by making more commentary videos again. And now we're here.
You're doing really well now as well. You get like 1,000 view videos, bro. That's really good. What did your most recent one get?
3,500.
That's really good.
That is good, and I'm excited to
I couldn't
in the
even
future.
imagine 3,500 people.
Yeah, that was.
I'm trying. It's not coming. It's not coming to me.
3,500 people in a room. Trying to imagine that. No, I think it's cool to be able to like maybe in the future listen back to this and be like, whoa, I was so happy about 3,500.
Yeah, and
like,
then in the
or I
future
was
when
so
you're
happy
getting,
about
like-
100. Like,
When you're getting a mil per video, and I'm just there like
imagine.
leeching off your views. Can't wait for that.
imagine. No, that was always something, because I was like, I never wanted to like fuck up my brain where it was like, okay, I'm getting 200 views per video. I'm not trying to aim for 300 views on the next video. I'm trying to aim for 100 views on the next video. And so it was like, it was slightly going up. And then I was like, well, I put out one video that didn't do well. And then it dropped all the way back down. And I was like, well, that's okay. Video didn't do well. It was like 200 views, even though the 2 before that was like 1,000. And so I was like, well,
That's like recent, isn't it? That's what you're talking about.
it was a few months ago.
Oh,
But yeah, it was like, that happened. And then I was like, well, that's not great. But now I know my next video, 200 views.
And you'll have to head
And
over
then-
to the AO Jack channel to find out what videos he's talking about. You might as well
Yeah.
subscribe and
You'll
watch
have
one
to-
while you're there as
Yeah,
well.
you'll have to check out my channel and just look through and be like, oh, that's where it fucked up.
That's not
That's where it all
messed up,
happened.
Yeah.
No, but then it was like, I was just aiming for 200 again. And then like this newest video just somehow popped off. And now I'm just like, I guess I need to put less effort into my videos. So like, I just need to fuck around a little bit more and be a lot more like
You're just very
casual.
perfectionist. You're a big perfectionist when it came to videos, and
Yeah.
I think what that meant was that you either didn't put out a video even anywhere near regularly, and when you did put one out, it would destroy you if it didn't do quote unquote well
Yeah.
of your current goal. And so I think putting out multiple videos of a quality that you're okay with, and then seeing what does well and what doesn't, engaging it that way is a far better way to grow your channel in its current size.
Yeah.
Maybe when you're like up there with 10 million subscribers, you can worry about getting the perfect video. But right now, it's just not necessary. And I think it's more important for you to find a way that you create content that sticks for you and that you feel comfortable with and that you think could grow your channel. I think that's a far more important way to plan your content currently than the one perfect video every 4 months or whatever the fuck you were doing.
Hey, it was per month. Just, I mean, now it's like I'm working full time, so it's like I almost feel like I have to get a video out because I'm also like, well, the weeks are going by so quickly now with actually working a job where it's like I feel like I'm way behind all the time. So I'm like constantly putting out videos, which now it is leading me to put out videos more consistently that are like, you know, it's not me fucking watching Barbie 5 days in a row. It's just me sitting in my room talking to a camera, or
Those
like
videos
reacting
do really
to something.
well, though.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy
That's
to me.
what's
And now I have to,
important.
and now I have to live with that. Be like, people don't want to watch you spend $100 on a video.
They want
I
to watch
just
you
wanna watch
chat
you-
shit for
yeah, pretty much.
15 minutes.
Which is now a cool realization, especially after the performance of the last video. And now I can actually just chill out and be like, okay,
really good.
this is what I need to be doing. So
And then when you become a multi-billionaire and you buy me a house.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is that relating to anything, or
Yeah,
are you just,
no.
are you just projecting?
I was just letting you know. Just
You're
letting
just
you know
letting me-
the plan. Is there what do you want to see in 5 years? You buy me a house. That's what I want to see in 5 years.
Perfect. Yeah.
Get him up there, guys. Get him up there. Let me leech.
We did go on a tangent for that one, which is what I was expecting. But because that was basically the whole timeline of up to now, content creation wise. Next question we had is there something that you're good at that people don't know? Any like hobbies or talents or something like that?
Head.
What?
I fumbled over it. Is how awkward that was to say. Man, I'm really good at head. You know, that's not it. No. I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, I would have argued like knowing about history, and
but everyone knows that.
Now
but everyone who knows me knows that. You said that no one knows. Like people,
I guess.
Let's say, like, if it was you, if there's something I could do that you don't know about, that I would consider that be something suitable for this question.
I guess, yeah. I guess my thing would be more like that the people listening don't know, but now
People
they
listening,
do know.
Of course they do know. That's the whole point of this podcast. Yeah. We're 5 episodes in.
I mean, my only thing that I wanted to say was that I was nice at basketball at one point.
Yeah, you were right at it at one point at a time.
I think I still have confidence that if I got my fitness up, I would be able to dice up like any YouTuber at basketball.
Yeah, you reckon?
That's the only thing I've ever been confident at is being able to dice up a large portion of not basketball YouTubers, but just YouTubers who maybe play basketball. Like where it's not their main focus of their channel.
Yeah, right.
Because, you know, like there's fucking NBA players that have YouTube channels. Like LeBron James' son is just going to dunk on me or something like that. So, and he's like 16 or 17. So.
I don't think I have anything.
Damn, that's crazy. That was sad. Can we put that with like some sad music and a TikTok or something?
No, honestly, like my only thing, my niche, my corner is that I'm a history politics guy.
I would say just a very knowledgeable person.
Maybe, I guess, if that's what you want to say. Say more.
Guys, John has a gun. He's pointing a gun at me.
At you. No, I don't know. I don't think I really have anything that I'm really good at that no one knows about. No, I don't think so.
I mean,
except head, but we've talked about that.
I think, I mean, yeah, like people that are friends of mine know that I played basketball. Maybe they didn't know that I was nice at basketball. Scoring like 2 points a game, but you know how it be. They didn't take.
I was cracked at Wii Sports.
Oh,
does that count?
Yeah, sure.
Should have seen me in bowling.
Did you hit pro? Did you like get the star ball?
Star ball,
like the bowling ball with the stars on it.
I don't think I was good at bowling. I was good at golf on Wii Sports.
What do you get for being pro at golf?
I don't know.
I know that that because they all have the graph, and then if you hit pro level, which is like 1,000 points or something like that, once you cross that, then like all of your shit goes sparkly and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think my dad was pretty good at Wii bowling.
I used to be top 3 in the world for Mario Kart Wii.
Yo, that's crazy. I was going to guess that. I was literally going to say Mario Kart Wii. Maybe you've told me before.
Mario Kart Wii. I used to be top 3 in the world.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Thanks. I'm glad that you found one.
Yeah, that's why I like driving really stupidly quick cars now. That Mario Kart Wii.
It's a Mario Kart Wii. Yeah, he also frequently litters and throws banana peels out the window.
I've never done that in my life.
We'll agree to disagree.
What
but
the hell,
anyway,
man. Don't out me like that. I'm a staunch green socialist, guys. Don't listen to this man.
All right, next question we have. Quite a like a deep question, which is who's your biggest role model? I think like the number one thing you would want to be like is like, oh, my like a family member or something like that. And I think that if I just choked for a second. I think like for me, I think about like other content creators that are like role models and stuff like that, or like comedians or something. But there was something that I had specifically read on a book, which I wanted to also ask about favorite books, which this is mine. It's called Steal Like an Artist, which is a book that I'm like all about now. I've been reading a lot of those like motivational, like inspirational books. Next one's going to be like Andrew Tate book or something, but
That's the name of the book.
Andrew Tate book by Cobra Tate. No, so it basically still like an artist. It mentioned something very specifically that that I like took to heart like crazy, where it was like I quote this all the time, and it was fucking Conan O'Brien wanted to be the next David Letterman and ended up being Conan O'Brien. And that's because he wasn't trying to just be the next David Letterman. He was taking things from all of like the other ones, like taking a little bit from everybody to where they couldn't specifically be like, oh, you are just like this person, or oh, you're just like this person. He had that many like role models that he took a little bit of something from everybody to where they couldn't like bunker him down and be like, oh, you are just like, we can tell that this person is your role model, where it's like I'm trying to be like that to where like I have that many role models,
loads of role models,
like, that I just take a little bit of something from everybody
in the
so
creator space.
Yeah,
like so you'd say
specifically the creator space, because I think that there are a lot of mannerisms that I've adopted from like other creators that I watch and stuff like that, but I'm trying to make sure it's enough mannerisms from enough different people that people aren't like immediately being like, oh, you're just like this person, you're just trying to be this person. Because being a commentary creator anyway, it's like they're like, oh, you're trying to be like Drew Gooden or something like that, and I'm like, oh, not really. There's a lot more of them. but that is like, he is one of the role models. I mean, you list off like the top commentary creators and there's like 5 to 10 of them, and then you can tell that like
there's a lot of similarities between all of them.
Yeah,
anyway.
Because they all take things from each other.
Exactly.
So, what about you? Do you have a biggest role model?
As a kid, it was probably like various teachers I had. If you remember Mr. Mackenzie, he was goated.
Big shout out.
Yeah, big.
I know
goated.
he's listening.
Yeah, no way. But he was like a goated English teacher that I had, and his like mannerisms and way that he dealt with kids and stuff, it was incredible. He was like probably one of the best additions to that like school like anyone could have ever wished for. Just a really good guy, really cool, like super comfortable person to be around, that kind of thing. He like understood what kids wanted to do, and all the kids that took his class passed because he let them be able to express themselves how they are, and that's just super cool. There are other teachers too, but like that's kind of the one that stands out to me, like as a kid. But honestly, like as of the past few years, so cringe, but it's probably my little sister. She's
cute.
She's 13 years old. She's going 14,
and she messages you on Discord saying "Wagwan, what you saying, G?"
So funny, like unbelievably funny. Like she says anything, and I am crying, dude. She's so funny. The way she acts, the way she dresses is incredible. She's so expressionist. Like, she's so comfortable in dressing how she wants, and she doesn't give a shit about anyone else telling her what she should and shouldn't wear. And my parents are super supportive of it. She's just her own person. And her at 13, and I tell her this all the time, I so wish I was like her when I was 13. Like, she is so just her own person, and I am so admiring of that, and it's incredible.
Yeah, I could never be like that. I could never just be like dressing however I wanted and stuff like that.
It's just like especially at 13, like the amount of prejudice you receive at 13. Not to mention she's also a girl, so like already massive disadvantage, and she just doesn't give a shit. And she's so funny.
I don't know what it is about people younger than us.
Her music taste is so fucking sick too. Like, and she started collecting CDs. She's 13 and she's collecting CDs of like metal bands from like the 80s and 90s.
What is a CD?
Like, she's so cool. And like now I look at her and I think like I just want to be as free of thought as you are. You know, like that's just really cool. And I really like that. So
I've
bit cringe, but that's like that's
cute.
It.
I think now that you mention it, my brother is my biggest role model, and he's great.
That's all right. Yeah, just take it off to me. That's fine. Yeah, let's move on to the next question, shall we?
I think
wob.
there's something about like it's not even the next generation, but it's people like 5 to 10 years younger than us
So
that
funny,
are so
right?
fucking funny.
So
I don't get
funny.
it. Like because it has been
It's because it's the humor we wanted to do, but they can do it. That's
Yeah,
what I've
maybe,
always kind
yeah.
of chalked it up to.
Well, because for example, like a bunch of the guys I work with, I found out that they're like around my age or younger, and some of the guys that are younger than me just like spit the funniest shit. Like
yeah.
so
100%.
often. It's like they riff really well with you as well. Like you like most of the time it's
They've all
just
grown
like,
up with YouTube, man.
yeah,
That's
I think
the
so.
thing.
It's like most of the time it's just like joke, laugh. But for example, with these guys, it's like joke, joke, joke. Like it's just back and forth.
It's like-
and still until somebody breaks.
Their
Like,
biggest influences, for a lot of people younger than us, are like YouTube and
Yeah.
like things like Netflix, like comedy and things like
Mm.
that, and all that kind of rubbish, right? Like stuff like a lot of the stuff I grew up with was like, especially let's say at my sister's age, I wasn't watching what she is now,
Yeah.
but some of the jokes she makes are so funny,
Yeah.
and it's so off the cuff. It's because they grew up with YouTube. They grew up with
do you think it's streamers as well?
comedy.
Because I
Probably
the way
because they
that I
have to
come
think so
yeah,
like
I
in
was
the
gonna
moment,
say,
right?
with streamers, it's like it's not like they're like cutting to different shots and stuff like that. It's literally just like
Off the
improv,
cuff, like
yeah. just like constantly. And
They've-
I see that with a bunch of streamers that I watch. Where
They've
it's just
grown
like
up
they
a lot more like content creator connected, I
Yeah.
think, and it's given, especially the next generation, a hell of a sense of humor.
Mm.
Although I'm not sure what you're so skibbity and fandom tax means, but
You don't?
I don't know what fandom tax is.
You don't know what Phantom
I
Tax is?
don't know what fandom tax
This guy doesn't
is.
know what Phantom Tax is.
Neither do you.
Anyway, next question.
You have no clue.
But yeah, we've got a bunch that I definitely know that we won't get to all of them because now I get it. So this is the first time that I've been like
You get it, don't you?
sort of like taking it.
You
so
go for
I
it?
looked, 30
40
minutes
minutes,
on
yeah.
the first question,
That's
and
what
I
I'm
was like, "That's
saying.
fucked up."
That's
Man.
why it's so hard to fit an entire period of history in an hour.
There was here's one that ties into a couple of different questions, which is do you want to go to space?
All the time. Do you know how bad, even Mr. Musk, I don't care, right? Just tell me I can put my brain in a robot body. I would live forever. I'd be a space cyborg pirate, right? And I'd fly around in space and steal all your stuff and be like, "Arr, you know, like that's so cool."
It'd start making dial-up computer noises.
Yeah,
and
like
shit.
if I want to be a cyborg and I want to live in space in a little spaceship with my little space crew and I want to steal things from other people. Okay, that sounds amazing.
to steal things from other people.
If I could go to space now, probably not. I think it's way still too up in the air on
Yeah,
how easy it
I
would
get
be to
that.
get home.
Mhm.
If let's say you go to Mars, I don't know how long it takes to take. I want to say 6 years off the
it's
top
like
of my
a
head.
12 hours.
I'm gonna Google.
It's like a flight to
It's a
Dubai
short
and
flight,
back.
yeah, short flight. How long?
Yeah, Dubai and Mars are the same
to get
distance
to-
away.
Yeah, obviously. Mars, here we go. I'm pretty sure it's 6 years. 7 months. I'm completely talking about.
Oh my god. This is why everyone needs to fact check John every time he talks about something.
Oh, I mean, it's different for different things. What the hell? What is this? Does it take 4 years?
Yeah, it's express shipping or not.
Wait, I'm so confused. It's so different for so many people. I suppose with technology, how it's moving now, it's different, right?
Yeah,
At
I
the
guess.
moment, with current technology, it would take 7 months. NASA said a few months ago it would take 9, so who knows? And anyway, according to mars.gov.au, which is what I just read that off, it will take 7 months. 7 months, right? So you travel to Mars, you land with your team and whatever.
With your space
With
team.
your space team, with your space crew. Arr,
Little
yar,
pirates, yeah.
arr, arr. You set up a base, and then, I don't know, an asteroid comes down and wipes out all your supplies. It's going to take 7 months for supplies to get to you on another planet.
Mm.
Not to mention,
Yeah, that
they
is
have to
crazy.
build the rocket, put it together, put the supplies together, make sure it works, and then send it to you. So that's not even in the months that it's traveling to get to you. Like, the fact you're so isolated and cut off at the moment is crazy.
Yeah.
But like, if we're talking like my space cyborg fantasy, it would take them less than like an hour to get
Yeah.
here, you know, with a little pee, you know, a little spaceship or something, right? Like that would be far more. I think at the moment it's still way too up in the air with how dangerous it is.
Mm.
Um,
I've also been thinking about that. Like, I constantly watch the videos of like people attaching a GoPro to a bunch of helium balloons or something and sending it into space. It's like every time I see it, there's something about looking at the Earth from space, where it's like it just triggers something in my brain where I'm like, where I'm just like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to be up there. It's like
It is
it's
flat,
almost
though.
like so it's almost like maybe like a bittersweet feeling where I'm like I'm so far away from everything, like I'm by myself out here or whatever, but it's also like
Do you get taxed in space?
maybe what do they tax you on?
I don't know. Oxygen? You didn't pay your taxes.
But luckily for John, who is good at head, he wouldn't have to deal with that problem.
Please, Mr. Tax Collector, there must be something I can do.
I don't have any money.
I know.
I see you have no space cyborgs in your ship. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, anyway, next question.
crazy.
Might be...
I would love to go to space.
Yeah?
That'd be really cool. But yeah, like you said, I think that's kind of what
At the moment,
puts
I think it's still too
it's
dangerous.
scary.
Give
Yeah.
it like 20 years, easy, I reckon. I reckon there'll be like satellites set up that you can go live on and stuff around planets.
Yeah, that'd be
That's what
fun.
I think.
Yeah, they're like little waypoints.
Yeah, exactly. Little like stop points, like a gas station.
Yeah, a bunch of
Because,
gas
like,
stations in the sky.
I've always been mind blown by this fact, right? On Earth, you've seen like a rocket. Have you seen a video of a rocket taking off?
Mhm.
Yeah. So you know when they take off and like all the boosters split off,
Yeah.
and then another rocket comes off and stuff. That's just to get out of the atmosphere because the atmosphere is so dense and so like heavy on Earth. If they were, which is what NASA are planning on doing, they're going to build a base on the moon, like a permanent base, and then they're going to build like a space launching station on the moon. And because of inertia and the lack of gravity, all you'd pretty much have to do is push the rocket even,
That's
and it will
crazy.
just keep going because of inertia, right? Because
Yeah,
there's
right.
no
There's
no
nothing to stop
gravity
it.
stopping it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So think of the amount of money, fuel, and time we'd save by launching rockets off somewhere with no gravity as opposed to Earth, right? Because you see Earth and you've got like 4 rockets splitting off.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
got like a
expending,
Costco next to you and
Yeah,
stuff. There's
right.
a bunch of stuff
Yeah,
stopping you
you're-
from getting up there.
and
so-
you're expending like thousands of gallons of fuel just to even
Mm.
get out in the atmosphere. So when we're at that stage where we're literally just like practically pushing rockets off
Yeah.
the moon, it's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe then I'll think about it. But for now, no chance.
Next question, which ties into the space question. Do you think aliens exist?
Yes, 110%. The
Okay, so-
galaxy is so endless, so vast, and we evolve, so why
Yeah.
can't they?
I
But
think maybe we have talked about this
Have they
before,
all
but-
veered off that fork in the road
Yeah.
where they
We were
destroyed
talking about this, yeah.
themselves?
My question then is like, for example, if aliens came to Earth,
Would you fuck one? Obviously.
not would you
Oh.
fuck one, but how long until you would fuck one?
About 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? My pants are down when they're landing.
I already sent them a dick pic to space saying, I sent you my dick, please respond.
Respond.
That's crazy. How did you know I was going to say that when I mentioned aliens?
Everyone has asked that question, dude.
Yeah. I
No.
think that question has been asked before, and the
I'd shit
response
my
that I
pants.
heard was like probably like 6 hours.
I'd be so scared of aliens. It's not even funny. I'd be terrified at first. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah, I'd just be curious to know, like,
I'd be terrified.
if you had to send this isn't even a question written down. If you had to send somebody into space to talk to aliens and not get us
Who's
all
alive
killed,
right now? David
dead or
Attenborough.
alive, dead or alive.
David Attenborough.
That's a good one.
Instantly.
That's a good one.
He cares so much about this planet, and he's such like a
Such a
wisdom-filled
little guy.
person.
harmless little
Yeah,
fella.
easily David Attenborough. 100%.
That's a good. That's actually a good one. I didn't have anything for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Straight away.
I was just gonna say like a comedian, but
Nah.
they'd probably make fun of him and just get
Definitely.
laser
Yeah,
beamed.
no, I know
and just-
exactly who I'd be sending up there.
They would just get like turned into ashes.
Old Big Dave. Send him up there.
Yeah.
Get it done.
No, I think that's a good one.
Mm. You'd be like, here is the orangutan.
What's the one that he says all funny?
Yeah, orangutan. He says like orangutan.
I'll run you, Tang. Something like that. Some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
something weird. Google how David Attenborough says orangutan, guys, if you listen at home. It's
I'll,
crazy.
I'll add it in here. Ready?
You might think that this orangutan is...
There you go.
It's going to be really cool if you didn't add it, if you don't add it in. Can you make sure?
I'll make sure, yeah, 50 minutes.
Orangutan. And he says it really straight.
This is going to be the most effort I ever put into the podcast, which is just adding in
No,
David
we put in loads of
Attenborough
effort
saying,
because we have higher effort than
you are
everyone
right.
else.
We don't actually do any of it. We have a producer.
And an editor. We have 4 editors that go
Yeah.
through it all.
And it's not just 2 USBs
Jack,
plugged into a laptop.
whip that up. Bring that up.
Jamie, can you pull that up, please?
Jamie, can you pull that up, please?
So we had some other like deep-ish ones where like I'm gonna list off 3 for you, and you can tell me which one you want to answer. I don't know if we'll get through all of them. But for example, there is question 1: what have been your goals for this year? Question 2: what was your first job? Or question 3: what is something you've learned this month? We could list off like all of these if we don't. I mean, if we go over time a little bit, it's fine. Doesn't matter.
First one, probably not. Second one's kind of lame. First job. Everyone's first job is like some retail job of some kind.
Yeah, something like that.
What have I learned this month?
Did you learn anything, I guess, really quickly? Did you learn anything interesting that you had to study for or like research for the podcast? Was there anything that you were like, oh, I want to learn about this and teach Jack?
Mongolia mostly, but we haven't talked about it yet. Yeah, I went on a big deep dive for about a week, just watching like videos on Mongolia, reading about things like the Mongolian Empire and stuff. We'll get to it probably next episode, I think.
I learned this month that John wants to bang an alien, so
who doesn't? This month, honestly, like, oh, it's so cringe. I need to be far more like okay with who I am as a person. I'm so self-conscious about everything about myself, but just like it's hit a point now where I'm like, I'll say something and like people around me are like, stop being a dumbass. Like it's fine.
It's not even what they say, it's what they don't say.
And but it's like,
you're
it's,
like, oh,
they're
no,
like,
I'm
stop being silly. Like it's fine. Don't
Oh,
things
yeah,
like
right.
don't apologize for that. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I suppose you're right. I don't need to apologize for that. Those are probably the things I've learned this month. You know, again, deep answer to a deep question.
Unfortunately, I think one of the only things that I can think of that I've learned this month, which is all of the shit that you've taught me in the thing. I guess something that I could say is that I learned through content creation that I need to put less effort and stop trying to make such a good video or stop trying to make a perfect video and focus on making a good video. So I guess that's been a cool one to
That's good.
to think about because like I mentioned for 30 minutes prior, that one of the videos I put the least effort into and the thumbnail I put the least effort into was the best performing video I've ever put on my channel.
You did change
so
it, though,
I did change it.
because it was really bad.
No, I that's what I mean is the one that I put more effort into did way worse than the one that I put less effort into. So, but that was that at least.
Yeah. You need to get yourself a producer.
Get myself a producer.
Yeah, so they can look at it and go, that's fucking dog shit, man. What are you doing?
I am my producer. I'm the one that goes, nah, this is shit. This video sucks. Let's scrap it. I think I've only ever scrapped one video. And even then, it wasn't even that I
Roblox
scrapped
Daisy
it.
episode 3 never came out.
No! That's the worst thing I've ever heard. It wasn't even that like I scrapped it. It was that I put the whole video together and had it privated because I usually private it like 2 days before I put it public, just so I know that it's all up and done. It was a video that I had that I now have just put on my Patreon instead, where I just like I get all these videos that have either I've taken down or have been like copyright claimed or something like that, and I just throw them on the Patreon instead. It wasn't even like a bad video either, but it was like I watched it through and I was like, just something about this just doesn't really sit right with me. So I just didn't put it out. And that was the only time I didn't put a video out after it had already been completely finished.
Sometimes you'll just have that feeling, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I had that feeling with the video that was 2 videos before, or 1 video before my last one, which was about the Go Girl Jennifer Murphy that did the I Want to Be Ninja song, where I recorded and edited that whole thing and I was like, this kind of sucks. Like,
I
I'm going to
liked
be
it.
honest. Well, that was the thing. I was like, it seemed like it just wasn't
It's got
really well
1,000
put
views
together
now,
and
isn't it?
stuff. Yeah, and that's what I mean. It was
Yeah.
like, again, a video where I was like, not really happy with it. Like, it seems like a bit of a stinker after the videos that I've made before then. Yeah, pretty much. And then I put it out, and then it does well. So then that video after that did well as well. And then I'm like, well, fuck me, I guess.
You did fine.
Stop making good videos. Pop out some stinkers every now and then.
Nothing wrong with a stinker, mate. Love a good stinker.
Love a good stinker.
I do, mate. I love a whiffer, you know.
I have some other questions that aren't too deep.
Yeah, hit me with them.
Or like, I guess, aren't too time consuming. One is, have you ever acted before? Either like if it's like a school play or something like outside of that. Is it something you can say?
No, I was
Did
gonna
you do
make I
porn?
was gonna make a really rough joke, but
Oh.
I shouldn't. No, I can't say I've ever
haven't
acted
done-
before. I mean, yeah, I
Have you
did
done
like
voice acting before?
no. I always wanted to do voice acting as a kid, but it doesn't pay very well. Like, really, if at all.
Wait, you're supposed to get paid for voice acting?
Yeah, you meant to.
Oh, fuck.
Voice acting, you don't get paid a lot at all, and normally voice actors are like, they're not treated great. I mean, a lot of the people in the arts space were not treated great up until like the recent kind of like protests and stuff. So I don't know. It was something I always wanted to do as a kid, but then I was like, It's also like, who needs another just like British guy that can hardly do a different change in voice?
Yeah, I did voice acting before. I did voice acting for GTA Machinima that a friend of mine did. The videos actually were pretty good. Like, they were pretty like well made and stuff like that for somebody who was like, I think he was like 15 or 16 at the time. And that was when I was first introduced to like people playing GTA on PC and realizing that like with mods and stuff like that and being like, whoa, this shit looks crazy. But I did like 1 or 2 lines in that because it was like a 50-minute like movie,
Oh, wow.
quote unquote. But I had like 2 lines of that. I played a helicopter pilot who died tragically in a helicopter accident.
No.
Because I don't know, like
That's so sad.
That was like one of the starting things that happened in the movie.
So
then-
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, pretty much. I was
Where's
basically
your
a
Oscar
voice
for
actor. Yeah, I was a voice actor for Black Hawk Down.
Jeez.
Then that guy had a friend who also like I talked to. I think he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, loved your work in this movie.
Love those 2 lines you did.
Love those 2 lines in Black Hawk Down, the GTA 5 movie." And he was like, "Did you want to help me with something that I was doing?" Because he was also doing like those GTA Machinima things. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Bro, I'm a fucking awful voice actor. Like, there is something that voice actors can do really well, and just like I guess actors in general, where it's like they can make a written line seem not written. Where it's like there's some way that they put it and it just sounds so natural. And I just couldn't do that. Like, the thing is that I was in this other one that I did, I was supposed to be like a newscaster, like basically like the news people that are like on the scene pretty much, like talking to the camera and shit. And so there is somebody like that usually tells them what happens and stuff like that. So it sounds kind of like, I guess, artificial or anything anyway. But somehow I managed to just flop that up. And
and that was the end of your voice acting career?
I think so, yeah. No,
Oh, no.
It was literally just like, he still used it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
can you
because
go back and watch the video now?
I don't know because I don't remember what the video was called either.
It
So
wasn't
I don't remember
Black
what the video.
Hawk Down 2 at GTA Machinima?
It wasn't. I don't remember the name of the video or the name of the person who made the video, and people's YouTube names changed
Right,
frequently.
yeah.
So, what was funny was that like I know that I wasn't the worst voice actor there in that video because one of them ended up being replaced by text to speech. So,
Back then, text to speech too.
yeah, it was,
Oh no!
literally, it was yeah, it was pretty bad, but
That's awful. That is so
that was the
rough.
end of my voice acting career. Yeah.
No. God, he was in line for Baldur's Gate 3, but he couldn't get through.
So, yeah, something like that. Dude, I need to play Baldur's Gate 3.
Go.
We literally talked about it before.
Literally goated. Game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what GOAT stands for, Game of the Year. And we were talking about it before we even did the podcast. And because I still have not played it, and I also haven't even really seen anything about it after all this time, because I want.
Not a lot of people have spoiled the story.
Well, I was frequently like, well, I know I'm gonna play this game soon. I don't know how soon, but I'll play it soon.
I think the thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is it did so well, so well. Like Larian Studios definitely deserve the success. The Divinity series, which are like the other sort of D&D series they did, also really good from them. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 absolutely exploded. But I still didn't see it super covered in a lot of like mainstream quote unquote stuff, because a lot of the like big YouTubers and stuff, they might played it, but it's just not normally what you would consider like an audience viewing game. It's very much like a solo story experience or like a group story experience. I wouldn't stream it to like thousands of people. So a lot of the story just wasn't spoiled, and it still isn't. Like there's still so much in that game which like you'll go in, even if you've watched videos on it, you'll go in and play it and be like, this is weird. Like I haven't experienced this, I haven't seen this, you know.
I guess my question then is that, well, something you would probably know from streaming as well. There are people that will say to you, you'll be like, oh, I'm playing this game. And someone will say, why don't you stream it? And it's like, it's not really a streaming game. It's a game that I just want to play and experience. For example, Red Dead 2. So I haven't finished Red Dead 2, but that was a game where I was just like playing it, didn't want to stream it because I wanted to sort of really immerse myself and didn't want to be like, hey chat, is this real and shit like that.
Hey,
so
chat, is this real?
Is Baldur's Gate 3 one of the games where I should stream or should not stream? Because I thought the same thing with Skyrim, but Skyrim
is such a
streaming
streamable game.
Yeah, streaming
So
it
easy.
really helped me
Yeah.
because all those Bethesda games, I get so lost, and having people that have played like 3,000 hours of Skyrim.
The problem
is helpful.
I have with if you had streamed Baldur's Gate 3 is that people will affect the choices you make.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 is full of so many choices for you to make, and it does affect a lot of the story at a lot of the time. If you kill one character or a character dies at some point in the story, you will never see that person again. They don't just come back up. Or if you decide to outcast someone or invite someone in, it might be a bad thing or a good thing. But if you are playing it and streaming it and then someone in chat goes, oh no, don't do that, they're a bad guy, instantly spoils it for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's truly just a story game that has like a turn-based combat system strapped onto it. So if you don't want that story spoiled for you, don't stream it.
Yeah.
That's what my opinion on it is. Or stream it on like your second playthrough, and your second playthrough do like the opposite of your first one.
Right.
Like be like a neutral good or something. Like do all the like good choices or choices you would make, and then maybe go like super evil for your second run, or like only like a true paladin run, which is always like don't trust anything that isn't like light based, you know, and things like that. You can do that stuff, but if you're going to play it through the first time, play it through on your own, I think, for the first time, because people will spoil it for you inevitably, and it will suck.
Yeah.
Especially when like there are certain storylines that can go on for like 3 or 4 hours, and if you get it spoiled at the start, there's no point.
Yeah.
You know, that's 3 or 4 hours of fully incredibly written dialogue, amazing done voice acting, great animation. 4 hours of that is completely out the window because someone says, no, make this choice because it does this at the end.
Yeah, right.
What's the point, right?
That's kind of, I guess, how I felt with Skyrim when I was streaming it. I was worried that people were going to like really influence what to do. I think the most that I got influenced was that I ended up joining the Dark Brotherhood and doing one thing specifically because my brother was in the chat and he said, do this, do this, do this. You will not regret it. And it happened to be that I got to sneak attack and German suplex an old woman to kill her.
Yeah.
So
that's when you kill the orphanage owner.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I have a clip of that. It's on like my TikTok or like YouTube Shorts or something like that on my gaming channel.
Skyrim is unfortunately like it's a dated game at this point.
Yeah.
It's a Bethesda game. The choices that you make in that game aren't really that impactful.
Yeah.
Like what you can join the Imperials or the Stormcloaks,
Yeah.
and it changes like a Jarl, but the end of the game is always the same. Literally, Baldur's Gate, every choice will affect the end of the game. Like every choice.
There's a real.
It's not like someone will remember that.
Yeah.
Like it's straight up like it will either make the end of the game a good ending or a bad ending, and there's no like in between. Really.
That's something that a lot of games have like really kind of like, it's like that illusion of choice where it's like there's so many games. I mean, most of the Telltale games as well, where it's like, hey, this person will remember that. That's going to affect something in the future. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Like, this person maybe says one off-the-cuff thing that's like indicates that they don't like you. And then it's like the rest of the
There was a game
plays
at the end. There was a game recently that did that, and a lot of people were really upset by it. I don't remember what it was. Where it was like, it was the same, like, 3 endings or something, and everyone was like, it's the same ending. I don't remember, but everyone was really hyped about it. I don't remember what it was.
I also don't, but I know exactly.
But you remember,
what
like, there was a lot
about.
of talking about
People
it.
were like,
but,
well, this doesn't fucking change anything anyway. So,
like,
what's the
Baldur's
point?
Gate, like, I honestly, like, it is so impactful, the choices you make, and it really immerses you. I got so emotional so many times in that game. It's crazy.
There's something that I keep thinking about where, like, for example, my brother, who's a huge, like, Bethesda game fan and stuff like that, like,
Dude, Starfield's stinky though. Lol.
I think he might have said the same thing, but like, he's played like over 1,000 hours of Skyrim and like the Fallout games and stuff like that. He's really good at like making a character that he wants to play as, but for me, I can't really do it. I think maybe it's because I'm an empath and it's like, I will try and make a character that's a bad person, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I'm the same thing.
Like, I'll start making these bad decisions, and I'm like, I just can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't make these pixels sad. I
know.
can't make these sad
I
polygons.
know exactly what you
even
mean.
more sad.
It's very, very difficult. Like,
It's so annoying.
and especially in a game like Baldur's Gate 3, you'll get to that point. You'll like start doing things. You're like, oh, this is not. I can't do this. This is not the right choice. And normally, especially in Baldur's Gate 3, you'll find, especially early on, the wrong choices are by far the easiest ones. But it's so much more difficult to be good in that game at the start. And like late, you don't know what's good and bad as well, which is what's so confusing. You're like, oh, there are so many arguments for both sides of this situation right now. It's really good. I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah. I'm
if you get a
definitely going to
chance.
need to give it a play.
Yeah.
I guess one more question then, John. Do you have any big future plans for whether it be this podcast or like yourself in the future? Like, I know that I mentioned like the where do you see yourself in 10 years kind of thing, but it's just like even like 5 years from now or something like that. Just like something that you would want to do with yourself or like this or something else around you, like in the near future, or like build towards that.
I'd really like to be an independent like mentor or teacher rather than like a teacher.
Right.
I want to work outside of the traditional education system. Whether that's like on like a YouTube or like a video service that might exist in that time period. I would like my job to be an independent teacher and to be able to teach people exactly what they want to know. Similar to like how you said earlier, how you were like, yeah, I was in these classes I wanted to be in, but they weren't teaching me what I want to know. I want to do that. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to make people interested and harbor a hobby and a fascination in someone that makes them want to continue down that path, right? I was speaking to a friend recently, and we were discussing how when I reached year 12 history, the history where people have to actually like choose to do it, there were people in that class that I never, ever would have imagined being in there. And I went in and they actually knew stuff, like they knew stuff about history, and they were in like the popular groups, and they were in like the groups that wouldn't talk about these things. And I'd never even thought that these people would ever be into this stuff, but they totally were, and they were super interested in it. But because of either their family backgrounds, their social circles, anything, they were never able to like foster that love for that. And I want to be able to offer a space where people can have that like passion for something really like harbored and fostered and grow, so that they're able to pursue that if they want to, or at least know more about that than they did. And that it's quite upsetting to me at times when I hear that people are really into something, but because the people around them aren't, or because their parents think it's silly. The arts are also another big thing. Things like music and drawing and music. A lot of people are like turned off by it because all the people around them are like, that's silly. It's not going to amount to anything. It's not going to do anything, you know? I mean, just look at like YouTube 10 years ago. If you said, oh, I really want to make videos on the internet,
You know what they'd say?
everyone's going to look at you and be
They
like,
would say, that's gay.
That's yeah, they would say that. They'd say that's stupid, that's lame, that's not going to do anything, go get an actual job. And now every parent is like, my God, why aren't you making tens of millions of dollars on the internet? I don't know, Mum, it's because you told me I was an idiot.
Because you told me I was gay.
Yeah, exactly, like that kind of thing, right? So I want to be able to be that independent like influence to be able to foster people's love for, I mean, realistically, hopefully history or politics, but really anything.
Yeah.
I'd just like to make a space like that. So in 10 years, that's the ultimate goal, you know? Why? What about you? What are you thinking in 10 years, huh? You'll be rich, famous, or 10 Bugattis,
I said
all the bitches.
It's so crazy because as much, like I said, it's like as much as I want to be a content creator, I don't want to be famous purely for the social interactions that I know I will inevitably happen.
Right?
That is the plan.
Yeah, like a content creation company.
The plan would be to start, I think it's just basically called like a media company or something like that. Something along the lines of like Rhett and Link, like
the Yogscast.
Mythical's what Rhett and Link is.
The Yogscast do the same thing.
Yeah,
same
like
as Linus Media Group, that kind of thing.
TMG, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they
machinima without the abuse.
Rhett and Link's story, because I listened to the Colin and Samir podcast, which basically creators talking to other big creators to help inspire small creators. So that was basically all I was listening to for ages, and it was like they talked to Rhett and Link, and it was basically like they just started their show, Good Mythical Morning, and like they went through this whole thing, and then they ended up like Colin and Samir did like a tour through their company Mythical, like their whole office and stuff like that. I was like, this shit is insane. Like I'm not aiming to be a scale like that big. I guess something like along the lines, it would almost be, my plan would be to be like a combination of Mythical and TMG, where they, like TMG Studios is basically just a bunch of different podcasts and just like some shows, whereas Mythical, it's like this big fucking like enterprise almost. My plan would basically to be, I guess, like Rooster Teeth, also without the abuse. So like, for example, they had a bunch of channels under Rooster Teeth, like Cow Chop, Creatures, and like a bunch of other shit. And it was like these companies where it was like Rooster Teeth was running it. Maybe they were funding it. I'm not sure. But it was like these people basically had full creative control. It was just that they had like a boss essentially that was like, and as much as I also am kind of like, that would be very stressful to be the boss of a bunch of these other companies. I think that's something that's like the huge like end game side quest.
You're still in the content creator space. You're just not having the limelight directly on you.
Yeah,
and you're
pretty
still
much
able to also support creators around you.
Exactly.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, like it's super far in the future. I mean, at the moment, it's literally just like build up my channel and just like, I guess to the point where I can fucking do it full time and afford my rent and groceries and stuff like that. Which
love
that would
living.
be great. Yeah,
we love cost of living.
We love living. We love
God,
surviving.
a recession, please.
And then all of the rest of that, like I have so many huge plans and stuff like that that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to give anybody like false hope or anything like that. Like creative projects and stuff like that I've talked to you about, and we can continue to talk about, not on the podcast, because I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to do the thing where I say, I'll tell you off the podcast, and then everyone's like, got blue balls over here.
Darn.
Like, tell me, we're
they
friends.
have to wait
we're friends.
like 50 episodes later for us to do another one of these, for you to slip out a little more slither of information about it.
But yeah, that's pretty much my plan. Just some big side projects in the future once all of my other shit is off the ground and figured out. The podcast hopefully doing well.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, getting picked up by Spotify, signing $100 million deal. So like that'd be something.
Think of how many 86s I could buy with $100 million.
Think of how many of your 86s I could buy with that much money. But I think that's going to be it. This is fun. I like being able to just...
A little more of a personal episode.
Yeah.
Less you listening to me ramble for an hour about history, and more just a bit about us. Right?
I love the structure that we have going on, whether it be like every 5 episodes, every however many like weeks in the future. But just like being able to... the whole podcast itself, like the teaching aspect and stuff like that, like this idea, when I first presented it to you, I was like, I might be onto something. Like
this is
and
it, bro.
So like,
This is gonna bang.
it's cool that we can have this, and then we can also be able to chat shit because it's just a combination now of both of our previous podcasts, like, together. So, anything else you wanted to say to the audience before we clock off and go to fucking bed? Because
No,
it's nap time.
But you need to do the sign off. So what's the thing I normally ramble on about at the end of
fuck.
every podcast, Jack? It's your
Don't-
episode. Let's do it, baby. Come on.
Thanks for watching the Jack episode. Thanks for listening. Make sure if you're on Spotify, you rate us 5 stars, because rating us 5 stars. You know what? Really quickly, I feel like I've heard people saying that they can't tell people to rate 5 stars for some reason. I don't know why. They were like, make sure you give the show a rating, but they don't say to rate it 5 stars.
No, rate it 5
You know,
stars.
Rate it 5 stars.
Give me 5 stars.
It gets us up on the charts, so more people can discover the podcast, more people can learn about history through John and myself, and that will mean more podcast episodes in the future. If you're watching or listening on YouTube, make sure to give us a like and a comment. John's giving me all sorts of thumbs up and shit like that. Make sure to give it a like and a comment. Comment any topics you want us to discuss. Tweet at us if I got something wrong, and yell at us. Otherwise, you can tweet at us some topics you want us to cover at AyoJack, AAYOJACK, or you can contact John on Twitter at
John Real Talk, all
Yes.
one word.
Perfect. Well, that'll be it.
That's
John,
it.
thanks for coming in. Thanks for sitting down with me. Thanks for letting me tell you about my content creation journey.
It was a nice back and forth, I think, today.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, well, bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. We'll
Kisses.
see you in the next one.
Love you.
Kisses again.
Kisses.
John,
Mwah.
you need to stop. We can't keep talking about kissing the
I just
audience.
want to kiss him, bro.